Hey y'all, I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about why I don't whoop my children. Yeah, and so I decided to talk about this because people have been telling me that I need to whoop my 2-year-old son, and also I did used to be a parent that believed in physical punishment and consequence. But now my mind has changed because the main reason why is the main reason why is because I found out the history behind whoopings, hence the term whoopings. Whoopings come from whippings, with the slave master whipping the slave because they didn't follow their direction. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want my child to look at me as no slave master. I don't even want my child to fear me. I want them to be able to trust. So, yeah, like I was saying, I want my children to trust me, um, be able to come talk to me about anything. The last thing I want them to do is be fearful of me, especially because my role as their mother, like the mother's role, um, is to nurture the child and heal the child. Like the mother is the healer of the family. And how can you do that if you're hurting them physically? Like that's contradictory to me. Like physically hurting the child while telling them you love them. It's the craziest thing because I have heard many times that people whoop their children because they love them, and that's a slave construct. And too, like I heard Les Brown talking about an experience he had when he was a young boy about how his mother whooped him in public when he drunk out of the white only water fountain because she didn't want the police to beat him. And so some of our mothers had created the habit of whooping us just because they feel like they don't want the police to beat you or want you to go to jail and stuff like that. But now we're living in a very different day and time, and when you know better, you do better. And that has created so much trauma in our, like, and when I mean our, I'm talking about black folks. And because I know in my family, like, that there's so many, and I ain't saying other races don't hit they children at all. I'm not saying that at all because I know that there are some of those who do, but I'm just speaking from my experience. Um, there are so many traumatic memories that are stored in us because of receiving beatings. Like I had a dream the other night, and this is what inspired me to make this video. To and because I realized that I still had some stored trauma in my womb space. Because when I woke up, I was crying, and my womb was like throbbing. In my womb space, um, that revolved around being beat as a child and even as a teenager. Because I remember the last time my mama tried to whoop me, I ran on her. And so, what happens when the whippings no longer work? What happened because viewing it from a slave master point of view, there's always going to be a rebel slave. So what happened when you try to whoop a child that's a rebel and they book back on you? Like, Come on now, that can be a very ugly situation. And I feel like we as their parents should be way more mature enough to be able to talk to our children about the problems and enforce other forms of discipline instead of like really hurting them and beating them with a belt. Come on, a belt? That's what you got whipped with, a belt. This where it come from. A switch, your shoe, or whatever else. Is physical abuse. Is what it is. It's physical abuse. And so I just decided to make this video because this is me healing out loud, and I maybe there's someone else dealing with it who may come across this and receive something from it. If you, in case you didn't know what whipping started it and why we even started whipping our children, because when you go back further than slavery, which a lot of people haven't even went back into their ancestry further than slavery, you start to understand when our people were queens and kings and masters of their crafts. They weren't whipping no children because everybody come here to have their own experience. And oftentimes we whoop our children because we feel like they being disrespectful or they doing something we don't want them to do. And a lot of times when you just observe, sometimes children are really trying to have fun, because I had to catch myself the other day where I popped my child, my 2-year old, and it was a reaction to him pouring water all over my floor and then jumping in it like it was a puddle. And so I know I like to pop him, but that hurted his heart. Like he just screamed. And so all I could do is I just held him and I apologized because I immediately felt guilty, because this is something that I am working hard to rewrite, unlearn, and relearn, because I'm really would love to build trust with my children. I want them to trust me with everything in them. And I want to be able to do the same. Trust them as well. That's completely, that's very, very, very important for me to build a healthy, loving relationship with my children. And because we're breaking generational curses, that's one thing that I would like to do, not only with my children, but with my man as well. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. Um, so yeah, yeah, whippings came from slavery. And also it is mental health to honestly believe that you are whooping your child because you love them. Because whooping instills fear, and then when your child fear you, they start to think that you don't like them. And so that behavior may reflect on you or even to the other siblings. Then when they start fighting each other and hitting each other, you just have a whole house of chaotic physical abuse, physical mess. And the idea that I hold in my mind of what I envision my divine family being like, it does not align with those values or those morals no longer. Regardless of what anybody think, my mama, my daddy, my sister, my brother, anybody like that, I don't identify, no longer identify um with that construct. So I am freeing myself from the mental slavery, and I would like to encourage and inspire you to, do the same for yourself. Own your power, take your power back, use it wisely, and build a healthier relationship with your child. And it's never too late. If you were an adult parent that hit your child all the time and now y'all having this strange relationship, that may be the reason why. And it's okay for you to apologize and do whatever you need to do because it's never too late. Okay? That's all I have for now. And I'm about to sign off. Let me inspire y'all to continue to heal, grow, and evolve. And I see y'all later. Peace.